Aries Spears flopping after ducking Vlad. I'm edit all the ads out, don't worry about it. You know what I mean?
Quick question. How old were you when you got your first social media account? Some people are just now learning about lawsuits involving...
What's popping? I was, doesn't matter, nigga. Fuck that ad.
Aries Spears has attempted to get out of Vlad's crosshairs and Vlad's audience, but Vlad is not going to let that happen. So the last time we were updated on this, Vlad had called out Aries Spears, and we were waiting. Well, Aries Spears had called out Vlad, saying that he would hop back on his platform one last time, and Vlad had this to say. He said, Aries Spears challenged to debate me on Vlad TV. I accepted his challenge and he punked out. Aries is named after the god of war, so from now on he will be known as Ariel Spears. My response video is
Aries Spears challenged to debate me on Vlad TV. I accepted his challenge and he punked out. Aries is the name after the god of war, so from now on he will be known as Ariel Spears.
Is on Vlad TV. So in the response video, he basically just says, this guy's a punk. He said he would come and debate me, and he fell off now. That I said I would do it against the wishes and advice of many people saying like, yo, he's a comedian, you don't want to get in the ring with him, he's going to make you look goofy. And he said, listen, I got the facts by my side, and that's enough. Well, Aries Spears, after having a big podcast episode that did about 50,000 views, he was forced to talk about Vlad again in the next podcast that would drop precipitously in views, 90%, with 5,000 views, and he would address this.
Stop sending me all this on Instagram about the Vlad situation. You know, I'm good. You know, it's like people, y'all be killing me, man, with this where y'all go, yo, man, that cooking you, man. Cooking you, what you gonna do? He cooking you, he on your neck. Listen, man, I'm 51, not 15. I don't know why y'all think that this stops anything. I love how y'all say that, like he cooking me. Like in other words, yo man, because of Vlad, you need to go back on Vlad. I don't need Vlad. I've had a career that has existed long before Vlad was even a thought. And I love how y'all act like, what do you think this?
Yo, who is this? Is this a Vlad variant? Yo, nigga went to a Vlad variant, bro. Holy shit.
Stops.
What the fuck is this?
What do you think it stops?
Yo, this nigga Aries Spears always got that hat on with his little tight fucking tilt. Nigga got the perfect tilt. Like, he know his tilt. That nigga know his tilt. That nigga has the same tilt every time. Like his shit, his shit always like tilted. Like, you know what I mean, his shit always tilted. He know his tilt. He got this tilt memorized to a T, bro.
Nothing stops. Shawshank Redemption. No, it stops now. No, it doesn't stop. Nothing stops.
So this is just an example of Aries Spears trying to escape Vlad, but the audience won't let him. Now, this guy is just off of the copium because he's talking about, like, yo, I'm 51. Well, Vlad's in his 50s too. I think Vlad's like 52, 53. He's somewhere in the same age range. And if people really supported you, like for example Godfrey's doing his own thing, he's killing it, he's separated from Vlad. Do you think they're telling Godfrey like, yo, Vlad's cooking you, Vlad's on your head top? No, they support Godfrey, and the people that weren't interested in Godfrey unless he was on Vlad don't watch Godfrey, and they just watch Vlad. But even in Aries Spears' comment section on this video, they're all talking about 48 hours up, thought so, and then they just keep, everything is about either Candace, it's just clowning him. His own comment section.
Aries don't know his next move, moving like a yo-yo. He tries to intimidate, then gets scared full of shit. 48 hours are up, thought so, pussy. Shout out to Candace, the makeup technician. Sir, you started this.
It's just frying him. And the thing is, they're not just clowning you for no reason. It's because Aries Spears called out Vlad. He said, listen, I'm gonna sue you. You're a liar. You're telling nothing but lies about me. There's only one person there. I'm gonna pull up to your show one last time for free. I'll do you this favor. And then you don't do it. So people are just asking, like, are you gonna follow up on what you said? That's what they're asking. And for a 51-year-old, you would expect that this person would follow up on what they said. Well, he failed the first time at 5 it was 12 p.m. or something, to get on the call to negotiate for a pay raise that he asked for. Like, I have to keep reiterating that. And Aries would talk about why he was not going to show up.
There's no ass kissing in this room. But I will say this to Mark. Fredo, you're my younger brother and I love you. But don't ever take sides with anyone against the family again. Ever.
I'm not taking a side.
No, I mean, listen, I'm giving you, and that's just, it's funny to me. It is what it is. But even, like, listen, even Vlad hit me up and said, let me read this text exchange. I'm accepting your offer to debate this in person. Let's see if you're man enough to actually do it. To which I said, I'll let you know within 48 hours. Is that okay? Or will that piss you off too? He says 48 hours is fine. Then I guess the 48-hour mark was this Friday. And he goes, 48 hours are up. What are you doing? I love this cop shit. That's why I call you an FBI agent or whatever they call you. Like, this authority that you think you have. So you know what I said? Nah, I'm good. To which he was...
I'ma edit all the ads out, don't worry.
Parents of children who play Roblox.
So I'ma edit all the
If your
ads out,
child was
don't
sexually
worry.
exploited,
responded,
I'ma edit
not
all the
surprised.
lag out, don't worry.
Now,
You guys are too old.
exactly my point. First of all, I don't think he would have had the guts to call me in my face. Because again, you're a coward. But I thought about it, and to all the people that go, oh, you ain't doing it because you scared or he smoked you. Nah, I'm not going to let the oxygen feed the fire. It's like, I don't need Vlad. I don't. And even though I might not have got Boozy's numbers or whoever, again, there still were eyeballs that would watch because of me. And I'm also going, if you go back on, what is this going to accomplish? What? And people are like, dude, if you go back on...
And then you see Aries Spears get completely illogical, talking about, oh man, you see, it's this authority that you think you have, Vlad. It's like, what authority? You told him 48 hours. He messages you after the 48 hours, which a lot of people would consider punctual, respectful, reliable, something that people wish they could get out of someone who they do business with. People are always late, on time, gotta follow up with them. That's probably why Vlad's so irritated with Aries Spears. So he's like, yeah, you know, you got... How do you have the authority to like hit me up after I told you that I would give you a response? He's like, hey, is there a response? So a follow-up apparently is out of Aries Spears' world, but regardless. And then the guy on the couch is laughing. It's funny because earlier in the podcast, like a couple seconds earlier, he's telling the guy like, yo, you better not look like you're on Vlad's side. This guy's laughing again because he understands. He understands Aries Spears is goofing because Aries Spears is talking about it like, yo, you know, you wouldn't have said that to my face. Like, you're a punk. You offered him to go to his show. He agreed to talk to you face to face about this situation, and you flaked on him. Not flaked. You backed out. So really, you're talking about like, oh, he wouldn't say that to my face. You had an opportunity to see what Vlad would say to your face, and he wouldn't say that to your face if you showed up, because then you would have honored your word. I don't know why this is so hard to just internalize for Aries Spears. Is this guy's ego just like completely off the wall? Now, there was a funny comment where it encapsulated everything. And this person says, Aries asks Vlad for more money after having received a raise from him already recently. Aries requests a call with Vlad and then refuses to turn up to 2 call times in 24 hours. Aries posts up on social media, channeling his quote warrior spirit, and declares that he will sue Vlad. Aries asks to come back on Vlad for free, once again on social media, not on his podcast, and then turns down the offer to do so when Vlad agrees. And then Aries caught lying about
Aries asked Vlad for more money after received a raise from his
being paid 5 figures, because he said he would get paid 5 figures. Vlad said, I never even paid him more than 5 grand. It was 4 grand and under. So he lied about that.
We're not gonna talk about that. What the fuck is this? Get off my screen.
And then he calls Vlad a liar when Vlad says, well, there was a makeup artist. And even the guy on the couch was saying, well, you said there's only one person there, but there's a makeup artist too. He's like, well, what about the makeup artist? It's like, yo, that's 2 people. Jeez. And it says Aries is obnoxious, rude, and irascible with any person who checks him with the facts in IG comments. And yet somehow Aries is the misunderstood victim in his eyes. And that's probably why this guy couldn't get further despite his talent. Well, Vlad would take the opportunity to go and link up with one of Aries' ops, one of the people that don't really mess with him. And Vlad would show some new information in this podcast about the story where Aries was saying that Vlad was fanned out, begging him for a shout out at one of
Is that Craig? That's Craig?
his comedy shows.
And I've never told this part of the story before because I figured it was petty.
With what?
What I'm about to tell you.
Yo, when did Craig grow out his dreads? Is that Craig White? Hold on, bro. I forgot his name. Craig White. Is that his name? I forgot his fucking last name though. Craig Roasts. Craig Smith. Craig Smith. Nigga, when did Craig grow dreads, bro? Am I tweaking? I must not seen bro in a minute. I ain't know Craig grew dreads, bro. I'm used to this. Either he always had a beanie on or he had the beanie underneath for me. That's crazy. Shout out Craig Smith though.
Okay, go.
What I'm about to tell you, right? And the only reason I'm saying this is because he kept mentioning this part of the story. So I've never been to an Aries Spears show. For 10 years, and you think of all the output we've done together, I've never been. So there's a show in Oxnard, so I hit him up. I said, hey, can I come to the show? He said, yeah, I'll get you tickets. Oh, yeah. When I got there, the whole place is excited because like, Vlad is here. He's, you know what I mean? So like I'm taking photos, like everyone's asking me for photos, everything else like that. They put me right in the front. He does his show, and he doesn't mention me, right? And I'm like, all right, that's cool. I mean, that's just his routine. So he had another show at the Novo. It was like, you know, like his biggest LA show ever. So I'm like, oh, I'll go to that show too. He goes, cool, I'll give you tickets. So I'm at this point, like the first time he said, oh, Vlad asked me twice. I didn't ask him the first time, but the second time I texted him, I said, hey, give me a shout out on stage. Because I figured that's a regular thing to ask for. So he gave me this weird emoji face in return. So I'm like, all right, whatever. So I get there and, you know, we're in the audience. Ryan Davis comes out as a guest appearance on the show. And the way they introduce him is quoting me. They said, Aries Spears or Ryan Davis. Like they're actually quoting my viral interview when they bring him on stage. I don't know if you saw what I'm talking about, right?
Right. When are you talking about when Aries Spears was talking about Ryan Davis?
He kept
better than
him,
everybody.
He kept picking him, but that was my interview. So he's like quoting me on stage, right?
Right.
So Ryan Davis comes out. Aries Spears comes out, does his thing. You know, he has a good routine. Once again, doesn't mention me, right? So I'm like, okay, that's cool.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it.
My shoulder.
Meet Base 44, a complete AI creation platform made for anyone.
Cool. In my mind, I'm thinking I'm never gonna ask him.
So initially when this was all panning out, I was saying like, yo, I think it's a little bit of a reach, me personally, to be like, yo, can you give me a shout out? I think that's something that either someone's just going to do for you, and I feel like if you ask for it, it's like a little bit too much, especially in the context of a person performing on stage. However, there's a lot more context here because Vlad didn't ask for a shout out the first time, and Vlad, when he's detailing the first show that he went to, which Aries Spears is talking about like, yo, he's hurt that Vlad said that he was never a friend. You've never invited a friend of yours to the show? So clearly you didn't think Vlad was a friend either. But Vlad shows up and Vlad explains, he's like, yo, everybody's coming up to me because they probably know Aries Spears, or if they know Aries Spears, they know Vlad, and vice versa. So Vlad is welcome there. So it makes sense in that scenario to shout him out because you're like, yo, everybody here knows Vlad. You're on stage. Yo, shout out my guy Vlad, you know, y'all know him. Maybe, you know, do some crowd work, play off of it. I don't know, I'm not a comedian aficionado. Like my comedy, as far as it goes, was being a little itty bitty wee lad child watching Dane Cook and thinking that was funny. I don't know, listen, I was a kid, all right? Like, get off my back. I know some people go, Dane, you thought Dane Cook was funny? No, I was like, realistically speaking, once I got to maybe like teenage age. And after that, Cat Williams was really up there for me. But I don't pretend to know comedy like that. I'm not going to cap. Vlad, though, he's a fan of comedy. So it makes sense after the first time. He's like, oh, okay, well, like, let me ask for a shout out on the next one. And it's fair because Vlad says that this guy always asks him for a shout out on his show. Like, he shouts out his podcast on Vlad's platform. So there's another person that's a comedian that comes in, and we also get context that Vlad is a huge comedy fan. He's also put money in a lot of comedians' pockets, inviting them for interviews and paying them. So now it makes sense why Vlad would have asked for a shout out. And he didn't get it in this scenario where everybody knew who Vlad was in there. And on top of that, they quote a Vlad interview moment to bring the guy in. And then you're like, well, what's wrong with Aries Spears? Well, Vlad goes on to talk about the Ryan Davis situation, and this is where you just learn that Aries is a flat out salty, disgusting hater of the highest magnitude.
Damn.
And it's that nasty kind of hater where you got to keep your grass cut low. The type of hater that's going to talk bad about you, not just like how Young Thug was, no, really, just like how Young Thug was pillow talking on the phone. Snakes, slime.
Me and Ryan, I was the first person to put him on a big platform. His first interview on a big platform was Vlad TV.
Okay.
So we hadn't seen each other in like, I don't know, like 6 years. So we're like catching up. He's like, oh, like, he's like, yo, man, thank you so much for putting me on back then. You know, and I'm like, yo, you've blown up since then, congratulations. And he's like, yeah, I saw you in the audience, but I didn't say anything because I didn't know whether you wanted everyone to be there. And Aries is standing like right here while we're talking, and Aries said, oh yeah, Vlad would have loved that. And I'm like, what type of comment is that? Like, you're reveling in the fact that someone doesn't notice me. And then, so I'm talking to Ryan, and people are taking pictures with Aries, but they're asking me to be in the picture. So I'm like, all right, I jump in the picture, I go back talking to Ryan, you know? So this happens, and I come to find out, and like, I'm feeling uncomfortable back here.
Yeah.
And Aries, when he did the responses, he made a point to say, yeah, Vlad asked me for a shout out, and I purposely didn't give it to him because this is my stage. But when we do Vlad TV, that's our stage, but this show is my stage, and I purposely didn't give it to him because I know that he wanted it to be about him or whatever. And the thing that Aries, I don't think, realizes is this, right? When he does his show, his comedy show, he's absolutely right, that is his stage. But when he does Vlad TV, that is not our stage, that's my stage. He's coming to my studio, I ask the questions, and most importantly, I have final cut in terms of what comes out. And the last maybe 25 times that Aries has been on my show, at the end he said, hey Vlad, can I shout out my podcast? Can I shout out my podcast? And every time I say yes. That's called professional courtesy. When you with people, you give them little things like that because you with them.
And we're trying to promote our
right.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about that podcast, but he asked me, so I said yes. But the one time I asked him for a shout out, he made it a point to say no. And even celebrating someone else not doing it. And at that point I realized I'm dealing with a different type of person. I'm not dealing with someone who
So you have Ryan Davis, who's a guy that he said he hadn't been on Vlad in 6 years, and thanks Vlad for putting him on and helping him out. Not saying he made his career, but this is a guy that's grateful. And keep in mind, he said 6 years. So this was before Vlad was even paying for interviews. So this guy was appreciative for Vlad. He didn't get paid from Vlad at all. Yet Aries Spears, who was a guy that's been on Vlad, has been helped more than Ryan Davis by Vlad, considering how popular and viral his clips are, and gets paid by Vlad. Not only would he not shout him out, but he makes a slick comment like that, and that's the worst type of person to have around you. Oh yeah, he would, like, somebody that's gonna knock you down in front of other people and then say that, oh yeah, I purposely didn't give him a shout out. That's even worse, because before this Vlad was probably like, damn, maybe I was pushing it a little bit, like asking for the shout out, and you know, he even said that. He's like, yeah, I'm never asking for another shout out. But for Aries Spears to say that he purposely didn't give a shout out to somebody that he claimed.
Ah, my shoulder. I ain't gonna lie, Aries is low key. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, bro. It's going. You know what I mean? I hate talking down on a brother, but my nigga Aries, bro, come on, bro. You sounding like a slime boy, bro. You sounding like a slime boy, bro. Like, let's be honest, bro. We started blowing up because we seen your clips on Vlad. And it's because of Vlad. I mean, I'm going to say it's because of Vlad. You were on Vlad's show. You were funny. But it was Vlad's platform which made those clips go viral or whatever the case may be. Not gonna lie, bro. Come on, bro. We gotta do better.
Was his friend because he was so shocked when Vlad said, yo, I don't think that guy was my friend. Like, I think Boosie and me were friends, but not like Aries Spears. I think we just had a strong business connection. And Vlad's right here to puff his chest out. Vlad TV, that logo behind Aries, that chair, that mic, camera, all that setup, that's Vlad's. And he's paying for that, and he's paying you to be there, and you're allowed to shout out. That's also, oh my goodness, Vlad did this guy such a courtesy. Imagine you are paying to interview somebody.
Yo, this nigga's brim is always tilted.
And then you allow them to get it.
Like, he has the, like, that nigga has the fucking perfect brim consistency, bro. I've never seen this nigga brim not tilt. Like, he got the perfect brim tilt.
A shout out off, which is something that people would pay for. So you allow him to get that off, and then he can't even give you a shout out back. You shouldn't even have to ask for it. You should be grateful that you get paid and you get to shout your stuff out, because it's usually like, yeah, you could shout your stuff out or you could get paid. You should choose one of the two, because two of those, that's a lot. And then you get Aries, just a despicable level hater, and Vlad is correct in saying that, yeah, I'll let him. And keep in mind, this guy's podcast is just 5,000 views after he had a record high with the Aries Spears one, with the response to Vlad. And this is just overall sad. Funny enough, too, Corey Holcomb has clowned Aries Spears, too. So I think Vlad is making some power moves. I think he's just going to go doing different comedy podcasts, because he is a comedy fan. So it makes sense why he would want to link with these guys. He wanted to do an interview with Corey Holcomb for a long time. Him and Corey Holcomb had their own issues, and it was one-sided. It was more so Corey Holcomb calling out Vlad, saying Vlad's a culture vulture, this and that. So this is a power move on Corey Holcomb too, because he's like, now I'm on your platform, you're giving me respect, and you're talking trash about the guy that I got beef with. So Vlad's moving very, very tactical.
Vlad moving a little different, you feel me? For sure.
Brilliant. Like, you should keep an eye on it. Like, Vlad's not showing up on any platforms for no reason.
I seen that, yo, Aries Spears and this nigga Corey Holcomb, them niggas do not fuck with each other, bro. In the fucking Fendi button up.
And just for the fun of it, like, I do think he's trying to build up his connections and visibility, but his platform is enough for that. And I think he's just trying to make sure that Aries gets pummeled to the ground, because he's making him the butt of every joke. And I'm in support of it. Like, if I was Vlad, I would be furious too with how this guy treated you, and then lied on you and tried to paint you as a liar. The gaslighting that Aries Spears was doing. And then when it fails, he's like, yeah, you know, I didn't read any of the comments. Yeah, because the comments saw that you were lying. But let me know what you...
Drake drag Jesus. Back-to-back Drake Jones. Word though, I ain't gonna lie, Aries Spears in the wrong for sure. I'm gonna be honest, bro. Just all you had to do was shout bro out. Like, it really wasn't even that bad. All you had to do was shout him out. Tell him, hey, Vlad's in the building. Shout out Vlad. Like, bro, come on, bro. Like, genuinely, some niggas' egos are so big, it's their greatest downfall, bro. Like, this could have all been avoided, bro. Like, I don't understand how we even got here. I mean, I understand how we got here, but, like, this could have been avoided, if I'm being honest. But shout out Vlad, shout out Aries. Nigga said Aries.